Well, happy Christmas gnomes here, everybody. Lori here. Let's get started. So I'm taking a chip brush. You may not have one. You can also use a 1-inch or a 3/4 inch flat brush. And I'm dipping right into my black. The reason why I use this brush is because it's way easier to coat. This one actually splattered more than the one I'll use later, which is like I believe it's a 2-inch chip brush from Art Minds at Michael's. This one, I don't know what it was, maybe a 1-inch, but I didn't like it as much. So I use this because it's better coverage, way faster, because I get a little bit lazy. So what I'm doing is covering the top portion of the tree in just black. I know it seems crazy, but you'll see kind of how it works in the end. You could just do pure green to start, but this is a great base coat. I do mix a little bit of water with my black to start, so you can do that. You can see some areas are more watery than the others, but ultimately I'm starting from the bottom of the tree and going up. It's okay if you get black spatters on the rest of your gnome, and then blow dry it. Now you can choose any color for the back side of the gnome, but I am choosing blue because I actually painted one already and I recorded it and it didn't actually record because I thought I did. So here is my second version. The first version was red, this one's going to be blue. So I'm just taking my 1-inch, I'm starting from the top of the back side and just doing one swipe downwards. Sometimes I'm just kind of doing a few touch up, like that's not covered so well, so let me just put some paint there. And then I just keep going from the top down. This is my first layer. We're actually going to do about 3 layers, so just keep the first one pretty basic. You just want to get some blue coverage on there. You can come up to the base of where the tree starts, but it does not have to be perfect because actually no one will really even see that part. But we will come even closer when we get to the green on the tree. So make sure to get right up close to that beard. You don't want to get blue on that beard, so try to find that fine line between that beard. Don't worry about getting black on the shoes if you're going to paint them black. If you're going to paint them a separate color, then do worry about it, but I didn't worry about it. So I'm coming straight back in without even drying it because it actually absorbs pretty quickly on the first coat with 1 second coat here. You can see how it starts to actually darken up by itself just by adding that extra coat on the paint. And then I will blow dry it before we do our third coat. But you can see how it just actually starts to glow too. And I try to come just as close to the edges on that second coat. And you can see even when it's sitting down that you actually can't really even see that separation there unless I turn it like this. So go ahead and blow dry this. This one took a little bit extra time to blow dry because it was a little bit thicker. You don't want it globby. You want it still smooth, but you want it thick enough to where it covers, but light enough to where it dries. So third coat, same thing. I'm just coming in with my third and final coat here. You can add additional coats if you want to. On ceramics, it's hard to avoid your brush strokes, but if you just do 1 coat, 2 coats, and then possibly 3 coats. 3 coats is actually a magic number for ceramics. And go in one direction just once. It actually hides it pretty well. And I'm going to let that dry on its own. So I switched to my 2-inch chip brush here actually. And that's what I'll use for some green because this one does not splatter. The other one did. I'm going to mix a little bit of black with my green here. Don't do this quite yet because you're going to see that I didn't like it too much because the base was already black. So I'm starting to dip right in with my chip brush here. Or your 1-inch or 3/4 inch. You can do the same thing exactly with that brush. It doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to dab all over it, getting all the crevices, and you can see how dark it is. So I realized, it's not that great. So I'm just going straight into my regular green, and I'm going to start, and I'm going to speed up the video here, but I'm going to start actually just daubing this all over the gnome. So we'll get to the bottom edge a little bit later, and then I'll get to the top edge too, but I cover most of it and I turn it as I go, and then I paint the top portion. And then we'll paint the bottom under layer of that very bottom layer later. But you can see when I'm daubing, I'm not really worrying about covering every little piece of that tree because that black is actually showing through a little bit here and there. And that's what I liked because it actually started to show some color definition to where I'm naturally just going to have a darker area. And what I like about the chip brush is it just leaves these streaky marks, which I'll show you in a second, that maybe if you try to paint on super globby and perfect with a regular brush, you might not get that. So I think these are like 50 cents, and you can probably even get them at the dollar store. So I'm going to bring this up. You can see how you can still see some dark green and that streaky look just from the chip brush because it's just kind of dabbed on there. So here I am just kind of finishing up the top portion of the tree. And then we will blow dry it. I always blow dry it, even ceramics blow dry too, just because I am always holding it and touching it and I don't want to smear the paint around. So I'm just grabbing some yellow. I'm going to mix it with some green. I'm going to make like a lighter green. That's my purpose here. And I'm going to add a little bit of white if I want to lighten it even more. This is optional. You don't have to do any kind of tri-color portion of a tree here, but I liked adding the 3 different colors. And now when I'm dabbing on this light green, you can see how I'm not doing it as much. So I did the black mostly everywhere. The dark green or regular green, I would say 90%, and this is going to be about a good 60%. Just kind of get it scattered throughout, but I want to see that other shade of green as well. And then I blow dry it because I'm not covering every little part of it. Another option is to grab a metallic green and even a 3rd coat to this, and I'll show you that later in my first gnome that I painted when I thought I was actually recording. So here's what it looks like. You can see just like different shades and different globs of different shades of green there, and I really like that. So I'm going to grab my 1 inch. Don't call me crazy here. This is kind of scary, but I want you to do this anyway. Grab your 1 inch and just start painting some watered down black on this beard. You're actually, and don't worry about getting on the underside, right? Because that's going to just also be green too. But go ahead and just paint right up to the edge of that nose there. And then go ahead and just paint that whole entire beard, this rundown black looking color. This is going to help make it look, I would say not vintagey, but it's going to give that nice undertone of black when you highlight with some white on the beard. And then when we get there, you can do as much white as you want. But this is a great base coat. So come right up to the edge of that blue here. And you can go around the shoe or touch the shoe. If you're going to make them black, it doesn't matter. And then take your washcloth or your paper towel if you want to and just kind of scrub it in. Make sure it really soaks into that ceramic. It doesn't matter if some comes off. It doesn't matter if some rubs in. You can see how this is a very, very messy base coat and it's very scary, I'm sure. Try again not to get it on the nose. If you do, not the biggest deal. And then I'm going to take my white after rinsing off the exact same brush. And I'm going to start at the top. Sometimes I kind of start in the middle and then go back to the top and swipe down. I'm not going back up unless I'm just trying to get that perfect coverage on a spot that maybe is hard to cover. But go ahead and come right to that edge. You can kind of work with the flow of the beard. You can kind of see the flow of the beard within the indents of the ceramic. So I'm going to start at the top and then I'm just going to cover it with white. Now don't press too hard, but you can see now how it starts to turn gray. In certain areas, if they're not covered, I'm not worried about it because that just adds dimension to the beard. So there's my first coat of white, and you can see the difference. I'll bring it up to the camera here. And I would say, like, you could even leave it like that. So if you love it like that, that's great. You do not have to continue doing so. So then I'm going to rinse off my brush, dry it off, make sure there's no water drops on there. Go back in with another coat of white. And with this one, I might be covering more. I might be covering less in certain areas, but I just want to brighten up some of the white here. And it's still going to mix in with some of the undercoat with the gray, but it just kind of picks and chooses on its own where it's going to brighten it up. So I'm still always starting at the very tip, at that very base there of the tree and swiping down. And this will still give it, again, it'll still be kind of brighter in some areas and darker in some others. So you kind of just have to play with it. You can continuously do this. You can do this more often than I do it. So just go to a point where you're happy with the shade and the color of the beard. There's what it looks like up close. You can see it's a little bit brighter here. And you can actually see that I did get paint on the shoes, and even on the base coat of the base of the nose. I actually got some paint up there too. So I actually chose, because I was looking at the one right next to me, I actually chose to blow dry it and make sure it's nice and dry. And I'm going to add another layer of white, but it's going to be even less white. So I'm not going to focus on getting full coverage here. I'm just going to start at the top and swipe down and just brighten up areas where it chooses to actually lay before it runs out of paint. So you'll see me I'm not picking any particular area, but I'm just starting at the top, kind of getting that into the very edge there, and then just swiping up and down. And this just kind of catches paint wherever it wants to catch paint. So it's hard to say what it's really going to look like. You can edit it as much as you want, but I just loved the messy look. I loved making it look so kind of antique-ish almost. And I was happy with that. There you go. And then I wanted to see what it would look like if I just took my washcloth. It wasn't wet and just kind of wiped up and down on certain areas. And just kind of wiped off some excess white and kind of streaked in a little bit more gray undertone to it. It didn't look completely different, but I did like how it just kind of looked like it was random, like it was a real gnome beard instead of me trying to perfect it. Now, I was going to grab some black here and start working on the shoes and decided that's probably not where I want to go. So you can do either or, but because it's going to kind of roll on the shoes a little bit, I decided not to. So let's go to the color of the nose. You can pick any color you want, but I'm going to make like a peach tone, like a skin tone color for me. So what I decided to do was grab just any kind of smaller flat brush. You can grab a round brush, whatever you want to do. What you're going to do is mix a tiny bit, and I actually got a lot here, so some red and some some red and some yellow to make a very pale orange. So if you get too much, I just grabbed more yellow and mixed on the side, grabbed some white, and kind of mixed that together. It was still too dark for me, so I rolled all of that off. You'll see me roll it off here, dip into some extra white, start a new spot instead of adding all my white to that same spot, just to kind of lighten it. So I just used whatever color was still on my brush. Maybe a little bit of yellow. These are just the colors to make that peach tone. So start little because you really don't need that much. And you can add more and start with a dot of red because you can always add more too. Now it didn't blend completely on my brush, so it actually gets streaky when I'm painting it, but I actually didn't mind it. So you'll see as I'm painting my coat, I'm just kind of going around the edges, and I'll paint in one coat here nice and full, and that's going to give me a nice peach tone, and some random streaks of red just kind of made his nose look a little rosy on that first coat there. And because it's such thin paint that I'm putting on here, and it's such a small coat, I'm going to hold this up to the camera and you're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to continuously add a few more coats, but see how it's got that glow of red? It was actually kind of nice. Probably should have left it, but I decided to do a second coat. So then here I am just doing that quick second coat here and just brightening it up. And I'll bring it back up to the camera and you'll see it kind of lightens it, but it still has that little glow of red there. So rinsing off my brush, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint the shoes black, so you can paint them any color you want. I chose black because it was just pretty simple, pretty easy. It goes with almost anything. And one coat almost did it. I did do an additional coat, which you'll see me do. But just be careful. So just kind of edge it a little bit with your flat brush or any kind of flat brush. And then go ahead and just fill in the rest. It usually only takes one coat, but you can certainly do additional coats just to kind of thicken it up. And what I did on my first one, which I'll show you later, was actually I took a metallic, like a dark gray black metallic, and I did that coat over the shoes, and it actually really shined it up, and I really liked it. So here I am finishing one shoe, and then I'm going to go straight on to the other shoe. Just be careful. I always hold the ceramic at the top because I know that I'm going to start smudging everything, and I know the top is nice and dry. So just be careful, and by all means, don't drop your canvas because they will break. You know, they're not wood, so they will break. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the undertones of the tree now. So since this isn't really an obvious piece of the ceramic when you're looking at it, especially when it's lit up in the dark, you can't really see underneath it unless you have it somewhere high and then you're looking up towards it. So I'm just grabbing whatever greens end up on my 1-inch brush, and I'm coming close, so close to the edge here, as close as I can. But again, I'm not worried about it being perfect because no one's going to look under there. So this is just, I'm kind of going around painting the under. You're going to see me actually roll the bisque or the ceramic to continuously go around. And maybe even a second coat if you want. It's not going to cover the same or have the same brush strokes as if you were using the chip brush. But the chip brush is so scattered and coarse, if you will, that it would have been risky to get that green on the rest of the bisque. So I'm just taking my regular flat brush to do this. And I'll just speed it up. I do have black under there, so I'm not too worried about if I don't cover it completely. But you can see how it just covers it pretty nicely. And whenever I dip in that paint, remember that green is scattered with yellow, green, white. And I'm just kind of dipping in and trying to make sure that it at least blends up to the outer surface of the bottom part of the tree. But again, see, you're looking at it. You can't really see it unless I lift it up. And then because I was rolling it while the feet were wet, I just went ahead and I touched up some of the feet there, making sure that I didn't roll off any paint, which was pretty easy. Now for the next part, if you bought this ceramic from me, and if you bought the paint, oh my gosh, the art kit that goes with it, with the brushes and the glaze and the paint, you would have gotten this glaze. If you did not, you can buy this at almost any craft store or online. Now, I did paint this during COVID or the coronavirus time, so things are a little bit harder to find. But this is called Triple Thick. It comes in a 2-ounce bottle. You only need maybe even a quarter of it. So you can just put on a plate and then dip your brush into it and then start painting it on. I'm just doing one coat. You can do multiple coats if you want. And I start in one section at a time. So I did the nose, then I'm doing the beard, and then maybe the shoes in the back, and then the hat as I work my way up, because it's really sticky. So you can't really grab it to turn it around. So I always start from the bottom up, and then I just let that dry a little bit. So I'll speed it up as I tell you a little bit more about it. So it says you can use up to 3 or 4 coats, let it dry in between, but I find 1 coat is enough for this. And I start to get lazy, and I literally just start to pour it onto the ceramic and then blend it around. It does dry clear. Sometimes it gets globby, and you can see like some thicker areas where it's starting to drip a little bit, but it still dries clear. And this is a great way to do ceramics if you don't have a kiln or if you're not firing them. It still has that great glow to it. And I actually like it more because I always found that when I put it in a kiln, it kind of blended the colors too much together, and it came out completely different. And when I just do this, it doesn't. So it does dry pretty quickly for a 1 coat. I would say maybe within 10 minutes it's dry enough to kind of move around. So other parts I was kind of just putting it on my brush and then just making sure that I got enough on there. So if you do get it in the holes where the lights are going on this gnome, you will want to kind of dab your brush in there to make sure it's not so gloppy, because you're going to want to put lights in there without it drying in a gulpy manner. Now, of course, this part is optional, but it always is nice to make it all glowy and all shiny, and it kind of protects the paint. The next portion I'm going to do, again, if you bought the paint kit, this actually didn't even come with the paint kit. It was very hard to find, but now they are back in stock everywhere I look, and this is currently, November of 2020, so it depends on when you're watching this. But I have multiple options of adding fake snow to this. So you can see in the background I did it. This one is Aleena's Glitter Snow. Then there is Duncan's No Fire Glitter Snow. And then the really popular one is Snow Tex. So with this, I'm going to try all 3, but this one, so this is Aleena's Glitter Snow. I'll turn the light down so you can actually see as much as you can. So it's pretty creamy, actually. So it's pretty soft, pretty creamy. I've had this for over a year. Closed, it did not dry out. Duncan's also creamy, a little bit more texture, and I can start to see the glitter a little bit more in this one. And then when I hold up my Snow Tex, you're going to see that it has just way more texture. You can even see the texture in this. So that actually is my favorite one. And then I end up just putting clear glitter over it, like Craft Twinkles or something. So here is the, I believe, what do I have in my hand, like the Duncan one, and I just take my finger, dip into it, and then I just start blobbing onto my tree. I like to blob onto the edges where I think snow would fall, but still giving that look of, I still want that grain to show through, so it just looks like it kind of snowed. So this is the Aleena's. I'm going to start moving to, or maybe this is the Duncan, either or. It's one of the two, so I'm just trying them out just to see if I could see a good difference. So there's that one. I'm going to start to put on the other one. And again, it has like a nice creamy texture, but it was almost too creamy. It just looked, I know this sounds ridiculous because it is fake. It almost looked too fake for me, and I didn't enjoy it as much. It went on easier per se, but now when I start to pick up and use the Snow Tex, you have to put a little bit more pressure, and it gets a lot clumpier, and you just kind of pick it up and dab it on with a little bit more pressure. But I love the texture of it. It's amazing. So it does take at least 24 hours to dry, so I kind of just play with it a little bit, and then the next day it's nice and dry. It does, if you like hit it or something, it could start to dust off or something like that. You can also do another coat of Triple Thick over this once it's nice and dry, maybe the next day. Nice and dirty, look at that. But I'm going to be super fancy here, dip my fingers in my paint water, and then dry them off my washcloth. And then looky, clean, nice and clean. So we have that ceramics painted, the snow on there. I'm taking the back end of a round brush. You can also take a Q-tip, and anywhere where I just got too much snow and it covered up the hole, I'm just kind of dipping my brush in there to make sure that it gets those holes nice and clean so I can put the lights in there before it dries. So here's my first one I painted when I thought I was actually recording. So you can see the shoes are nice and shiny because they have a glaze. Well, this is all glazed, so my nosy is even a different color. Shoes and back is nice and shiny because I added some red metallic to the red and some black metallic to the shoes, so that was fun. And actually in this tree, see that there's some green that I'm pointing to here? That's the scattered green metallic. Actually, this is a festive green dazzling metallic from Deco Art, and I really like this. You can buy different metallics too, but it was a nice touch. You couldn't see it as much as I wanted to because I covered everything with snow, but it was still great. And then here is the one I just finished. Holding it up, see, nice and glowy. It shines nice and well. You can see the different colors of green. In the back, you can see I got a little grain on the back of that ceramic, but there he is. So you can go ahead and put your lights in, plug them in, turn them on, super glue them in, whatever you like. Have a phenomenal holiday. Merry Christmas.